Your mortal thoughts are your thoughts of mortality, of death, and all that leads to death, of sin, sickness, unhappiness, all that tends to discourage you from wanting to keep on living and thinking. Your immortal thoughts are your thoughts of life, activity, love, joy, all those thoughts which make you want to live more. One thought differs from another, but you go on forever. The same one God being. Your mystification all comes from confounding yourself with your thoughts, from thinking of your thought-built body as you, which it is not. In its deepest analysis, your body and all your thoughts are purely mortal thoughts, and only your real you, the thinker, is immortal. To be immortal is to be subject to no change, which is true of life principle only. To be mortal is to be subject to change and death, which is true of all thought, even thoughts of life, love, and joy. All thoughts are fleeting, and therefore mortal applies to them. Evil disappears before good thought, and good doth change to better and best. The body is eternally changing, eternally receiving from the self or spirit higher thought, and eternally sloughing off lower thought. Body is mortal and will never be anything else. It will never cease to change. It will never cease to receive new thought and slough off back number thought. It will never cease to die daily. If it could for 1 hour cease the daily, hourly dying, this casting off thought, which is out of date, it would die altogether. Individual hanging on to dead thought is the cause of all old age and somatic death. The body, instead of throwing off its dead and dying thought, through its eliminative system, allows it to continue piling up in the body until death of the entire body comes as a relief, and the God Self goes on to new incarnations. All bodily energy is the energy of live thought. Death comes to the body when dead thought preponderates, except ye become as a little child, whose daily dying is perfect. You shall continue to grow old and die the somatic death. A child hangs on to nothing. Every new thing charms it completely from the old, and its intense mental and physical activities keep the old moving out and off to make room for more of the new. Can you give any reason under the sun why human beings should not continue to live the child life and escape death of the body as a whole? There is no reason to be found in science, logic, or nature. The one reason lies in our artificial living. We stuff the mind with unused knowledge. We stuff the body with twice to 10 times the food we need. All food is thought, too. We glory in owning more things than we can possibly need or use. We spend our time straddling our possessions to keep others from using them. Is it any wonder we become literally loaded down until our bodies are too cumbersome for any life more strenuous than that of the grave? Life to us is too real, too earnest. We want too much, and as long as we persist in living at this dying rate, the grave will be our goal. I said that in its last analysis, all thought is mortal thought. This is true of formed thought or thoughts. Thought substance is eternal. Thought substance is matter. Without beginning or end, and matter in its original state, is mind or spirit, the one thinker, and his thought material, one and indivisible. Thought substance is immortal, unchanging, but all forms of this thought substance are mortal, ever-changing. Think of the ocean. The water is ever the same, but the waves, the forms assumed by the water, eternally change. So with thought substance and thought forms, the body being an organization of thought forms, of mortal thoughts, must die daily. But that thought substance from which all its forms are made is immortal. Mind is the God Self. Your body is simply a series of growing organization of fleeting eddies in your immortal God self. Too wonderful to grasp? Well, never mind, better not grasp it too tightly anyway. It might prove only another weight on your mind. Let the thought come and go in your consciousness as waves come and go on the ocean. By and by, you will realize that it is true, that you and the Father, body and soul are all one and eternal. Just take it for granted, dearie, and love and be radiantly happy. So shall you use mortality to prove immortality.